Scott Adams, the legendary creator of the iconic comic strip Dilbert, has passed away at the age of 68 after a battle with metastatic prostate cancer. Adams's work entertained and inspired millions around the world for more than 3 decades, using humor and satire to highlight the absurdities of corporate life, office politics, and modern workplace culture. Dilbert became a cultural phenomenon, known for its sharp observations about bureaucracy, inefficient management, and the everyday struggles of office workers. Adams' cartoons resonated with employees and readers worldwide, earning him a devoted fan base and cementing his place in comic strip history. In 2023, Adams faced public controversy over remarks he made, which led to many newspapers and publishers discontinuing the Dilbert comic strip. Despite this setback, he continued to reach his audience through daily YouTube live streams, sharing his perspectives, humor, and commentary until his passing. Beyond cartooning, Adams was also a respected author and thought leader in the fields of business, productivity, and personal development. He penned several books, including Win Bigly and How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big, blending humor with practical insights on achieving success in life and work. Colleagues, fans, and readers remember Adams not just for his cartoons, but also for his fearless approach to expressing his views, his creativity, and his willingness to push boundaries in both art and commentary. His work has influenced countless cartoonists, writers, and creatives, and his legacy will live on through the timeless humor and insights of Dilbert. Scott Adams' contributions to the comic arts and cultural commentary will be remembered for generations. His sharp wit, unique perspective, and dedication to his craft made him a remarkable figure in both literature and popular culture. Rocco Commisso, the renowned businessman and president of Italian Serie A club Fiorentina, has passed away at the age of 76 in the United States. The Fiorentina club shared the news with a statement expressing profound sadness, saying that Commisso had undergone a prolonged period of treatments before his death. He is survived by his wife Catherine, his children Giuseppe and Marisa, and his sisters Italia and Raffaellina. Fans, colleagues, and football communities on both sides of the Atlantic have expressed condolences following the announcement. Born on November 25, 1949, in Marina di Gioiosa Ionica, Italy, Commisso emigrated to the United States with his family as a child. In America, he pursued higher education and went on to build a remarkable business career. He founded Mediacom, a telecommunications company that grew to become one of the largest privately held cable operators in the United States, serving millions of customers and establishing Commisso as one of the leading figures in the business world. Forbes estimated his personal fortune at around $8 billion in 2023, highlighting the extraordinary scale of his achievements. Commisso was also deeply passionate about football, and in 2017, he made his first foray into sports ownership by acquiring the New York Cosmos, a historic club in the United States soccer scene. This acquisition showcased his dedication to promoting the sport and his desire to be involved in the growth of football in America. Beyond his business and football achievements, Commisso was known for his philanthropic efforts and commitment to community development, supporting initiatives in both Italy and the U.S. His leadership style combined strategic vision, innovation, and a personal touch that endeared him to colleagues, employees, and the sports community. Rocco Commisso will be remembered as a visionary entrepreneur, a devoted football president, and a figure who bridged 2 continents through his passion, work, and generosity. His legacy will endure through the continued growth and success of Fiorentina, the New York Cosmos, and the many lives he impacted both in business and sport. Dave Giusti has passed away at the age of 86. Giusti, a key figure in the Pirates' 1971 championship team, spent 15 seasons in Major League Baseball, including 7 with Pittsburgh, and left a lasting legacy in the sport. Giusti helped the Pirates capture the 1971 World Series, leading the National League in saves that season with 30. He also earned MLB All-Star honors in 1973 after posting a 9-2 record with a 2.37 ERA. Beyond his time in Pittsburgh, Giusti played for the Houston Astros, St. Louis Cardinals, Oakland Athletics, and Chicago Cubs, appearing in 668 games and making 133 starts. He finished his career with exactly 100 wins, recording a 193 record and a 3.60 ERA, while striking out 1,103 batters over 1,716 2/3 innings pitched. After retiring from baseball, Giusti remained in Pittsburgh and became an active member of the community and the Pirates alumni group, continuing to impact fans and fellow players alike. The Pirates organization expressed their condolences, stating, "We are deeply saddened to learn of the passing of former Pirates pitcher Dave Giusti. Dave was an important member of the 1971 World Championship team, and his contributions to the game and the city of Pittsburgh will not be forgotten. Our thoughts are with his family during this difficult time." Dave Giusti's legacy as a player, mentor, and community figure will be remembered by the baseball world for years to come. John Forté, widely recognized for his groundbreaking work with the Fugees, has tragically passed away at the age of 50. Forté was found at his home in Massachusetts on January 12, 2026. Authorities have confirmed that there were no signs of disturbance at the scene, and no official cause of death has been released at this time. This sudden loss has shocked fans, collaborators, and the broader music community alike. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, John Forté emerged as one of the most influential voices in the hip-hop scene during the 1990s. He gained international acclaim for his work on the Fugees' 1996 multi-platinum album The Score, which is widely regarded as a landmark in hip-hop history. The album featured iconic tracks such as Killing Me Softly and Ready or Not, blending rap, R&B, and soul influences in ways that helped define the era. Forté toured extensively with the group, showcasing his skills as both a rapper and producer, and became a trusted collaborator with Wyclef Jean, contributing heavily to Jean's 1997 solo project, The Carnival. In addition to his work with the Fugees, Forté had a notable solo career, releasing multiple albums that highlighted his versatility and lyrical depth. His debut solo album, Poli-Sci, 1998, was followed by I-John in 2002, both of which demonstrated his ability to combine storytelling, political commentary, and innovative beats. Forté continued to create and release music over the years, including Rhythm Drive in 2020 and Vessels in 2021, earning critical praise for his unique fusion of classic hip-hop rhythms with contemporary sounds. Forté's life was not without challenges. In 2000, he faced legal troubles and served a 7-year prison sentence related to drug trafficking charges. Despite this, he remained committed to music, mentorship, and the artistic community, using his experiences to inspire others and continue contributing creatively. Friends, fans, and collaborators remember him as a gifted, humble, and generous artist whose influence extended far beyond the recording studio. His death marks the loss of a pivotal figure in the evolution of hip-hop and popular music. From his early days shaping the sound of the Fugees to his solo work and collaborations with other artists, Forté's legacy is defined by innovation, resilience, and an unwavering dedication to his craft. The hip-hop community, along with his family and fans, mourns this profound loss. Forté's music, energy, and influence will endure, ensuring that his contributions to the genre are never forgotten. Our thoughts and deepest condolences go out to his family, friends, and fans during this time of mourning. John Joseph Nicholson was born on April 22, 1937, in Neptune City, New Jersey, into circumstances that would later define much of the mystery and psychological depth that came to characterize both his life and his screen presence. Raised in a working-class environment along the Jersey Shore, Nicholson grew up believing that his grandmother was his mother and that his actual mother was his older sister. This carefully guarded family secret shaped his early sense of identity, even though he remained unaware of the truth for decades. His mother, June Frances Nicholson, was a showgirl with artistic ambitions, and her complex personal life created a fragile family structure that required secrecy and emotional resilience. The truth, that June was actually his biological mother, was not revealed to Nicholson until 1974, when investigative journalists uncovered the reality. By then, both June and Nicholson's grandmother had passed away, leaving him to process this life-altering revelation privately. Nicholson later reflected on the discovery with surprising emotional stability, stating that while the revelation was dramatic, it was not psychologically devastating, suggesting that his sense of self had already solidified through experience rather than bloodlines. Growing up in Neptune City and later Spring Lake, New Jersey, Nicholson developed an early reputation for rebellion, humor, and defiance of authority, traits that would later become central to his acting persona. At Manasquan High School, he was voted class clown by the class of 1954, a label that reflected not only his wit, but also his disregard for rigid discipline. He spent extensive time in detention, often clashing with school authorities, yet this behavior masked an early attraction to performance and storytelling. His school later honored him by naming a theater and drama award after him, recognizing that his disruptive creativity had been an early indicator of extraordinary talent rather than aimless troublemaking. Even as a teenager, Nicholson showed signs of the charismatic outsider role he would later perfect on screen, someone operating just outside social norms, questioning authority while commanding attention. In 1957, during a period when military service loomed heavily over young American men, Nicholson joined the California Air National Guard, a decision he later admitted was partly motivated by a desire to avoid being drafted into full active service. Stationed primarily as a firefighter at the Van Nuys Airport, Nicholson fulfilled his military obligations through weekend drills and annual training, though he was briefly activated during the Berlin crisis of 1961. This experience reinforced his discipline without suppressing his individuality, and he was honorably discharged in 1962. The military chapter of his life remains relatively understated, but played a role in grounding him before his full immersion into Hollywood's uncertain terrain. Nicholson's journey toward acting began in earnest when he moved to California, initially taking a job as an office worker for legendary animation pioneers William Hanna and Joseph Barbera at MGM's cartoon studio. Though offered a chance to train as an animator, Nicholson declined, firmly believing that his future lay in acting rather than drawing. This early decision demonstrated both confidence and stubbornness, qualities that would repeatedly shape his career. He trained at the Players Ring Theater and slowly began accumulating minor roles in television and low-budget films. These early years were marked by struggle, rejection, and financial uncertainty, yet Nicholson persisted, absorbing lessons from every failure. Unlike many aspiring actors chasing instant fame, he quietly built his craft, developing the raw intensity, sardonic humor, and emotional volatility that would later make him unforgettable. By the late 1950s and early 1960s, Nicholson had entered the orbit of low-budget filmmaker Roger Corman, whose productions became a proving ground for future Hollywood legends. Nicholson's film debut came in The Cry-Baby Killer, 1958, followed by appearances in cult projects such as The Little Shop of Horrors, The Raven, and The Terror. These films did little to establish mainstream success, but they allowed Nicholson to experiment, fail, and evolve without the pressure of studio expectations. During this period, he also began writing screenplays, sensing that survival in Hollywood required adaptability. This willingness to move between acting, writing, and directing would later prove crucial to his longevity in the industry. Despite years of hard work, Nicholson's career seemed stalled by the mid-1960s. He faced the very real possibility that he might never break through as a leading actor. Yet beneath the surface, the foundation was being laid for one of the most explosive career transformations in cinema history. The frustrations, the outsider status, the simmering anger, and the sharp intelligence he cultivated during these years would soon converge into performances that redefined American film acting. Jack Nicholson's long, uncertain climb through Hollywood's mards finally erupted into mainstream consciousness in 1969 with Easy Rider, a low-budget counterculture film that not only changed his career but reshaped American cinema itself. Cast as George Hanson, an alcoholic, sharp-tongued civil rights lawyer, Nicholson delivered a performance that felt radically different from the polished stars of the era. His character was funny, vulnerable, angry, and deeply human, an embodiment of a society in transition. Though his screen time was limited, Nicholson dominated the film, stealing scenes with a ferocity that made audiences and critics take immediate notice. The role earned him his first Academy Award nomination and instantly elevated him from struggling character actor to cultural symbol. More importantly, Easy Rider positioned Nicholson as the cinematic voice of rebellion, perfectly aligned with the anti-establishment mood of late 1960s America. The success of Easy Rider opened doors that had long been closed to Nicholson, but he did not rush into conventional stardom. Instead, he gravitated toward complex, morally ambiguous characters that challenged authority and social norms. In Five Easy Pieces, 1970, Nicholson played Bobby Dupuy, a disaffected oil rig worker with a classical music background who rejects both privilege and responsibility. The role captured the restless spirit of a generation searching for meaning beyond material success, and Nicholson's performance, marked by suppressed rage, emotional detachment, and piercing honesty, earned him another Academy Award nomination. His now legendary diner scene, in which he erupts over a denied food order, became an iconic moment in film history, symbolizing quiet rebellion turning into explosive frustration. Throughout the early 1970s, Nicholson carefully shaped a screen persona that blurred the line between charm and menace. In The Last Detail, 1973, he portrayed a hardened Navy lifer escorting a young sailor to prison, delivering a performance filled with profanity, humor, and aching humanity. The role earned yet another Oscar nomination and further solidified Nicholson's reputation as an actor capable of exposing emotional depth beneath abrasive exteriors. This period marked the emergence of his signature style, sarcastic delivery, sudden emotional shifts, and an unsettling unpredictability that kept audiences riveted. Nicholson was no longer simply acting rebellious roles, he embodied rebellion itself. His transformation into a cinematic legend reached a new level with Roman Polanski's Chinatown, 1974, widely regarded as one of the greatest films ever made. Playing private detective Jake Giusti, Nicholson delivered a performance defined by restraint rather than explosion, showcasing his growing maturity as an actor. The film's bleak worldview, moral ambiguity, and devastating ending aligned perfectly with Nicholson's ability to convey intelligence, cynicism, and quiet despair. Though he did not win the Oscar, his performance in Chinatown confirmed him as one of the most serious and respected actors of his generation. It also marked his successful transition from counterculture symbol to leading man capable of anchoring sophisticated adult cinema. By the mid-1970s, Nicholson had become the definitive anti-hero of American film, repeatedly portraying men who resisted institutions, mocked authority, and suffered the consequences. This theme reached its peak with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975, in which Nicholson played Randall McMurphy, a defiant inmate battling an oppressive mental health system. His performance was electric, by turns hilarious, tragic, and heartbreaking, and it earned him his first Academy Award for Best Actor. The film swept the major Oscar categories and became a cultural milestone, cementing Nicholson's status as not just a movie star, but a transformative force in cinema. McMurphy was more than a character. He was a symbol of individual freedom crushed by institutional power, and Nicholson's portrayal made him unforgettable. As the decade progressed, Nicholson continued to challenge himself, refusing to be confined to a single image. He experimented with darker roles, complex anti-heroes, and even directing, demonstrating an artistic confidence rarely seen among Hollywood stars. By the end of the 1970s, Jack Nicholson had completed one of the most remarkable career evolutions in film history, from overlooked bit player to the defining face of cinematic rebellion. His rise was not built on conventional charm or physical perfection, but on intelligence, fearlessness, and an unmatched ability to tap into society's deepest anxieties. As the 1980s began, Jack Nicholson's career entered a darker, more mythic phase, one that would permanently cement his image as one of cinema's most frightening and magnetic performers. This era was defined by The Shining, 1980, Stanley Kubrick's psychological horror masterpiece, in which Nicholson portrayed the unraveling writer Jack Torrance. From the film's opening moments, Nicholson infused the character with an eerie sense of barely contained madness, suggesting that Torrance's descent was not a sudden break, but an inevitable explosion of something already festering inside. His performance, equal parts manic, menacing, and disturbingly playful, redefined horror acting and produced some of the most iconic imagery in film history. Lines like "Here's Johnny" transcended the movie itself, embedding Nicholson's face and voice into popular culture. Though the film initially received mixed reviews and failed to earn Nicholson an Oscar nomination, it was later reappraised as a landmark achievement, with Nicholson's performance now widely regarded as one of the greatest in the genre. Rather than being typecast as a villain or madman, Nicholson used the momentum of The Shining to broaden his range even further. In Reds, 1981, directed by Warren Beatty, Nicholson delivered a powerful supporting performance as writer Eugene O'Neill, earning another Academy Award nomination. His portrayal was sharp, intellectual, and emotionally volatile, demonstrating that he could dominate a film even without being its central focus. This period confirmed Nicholson's rare ability to move seamlessly between leading and supporting roles without diminishing his screen presence, a flexibility few actors of his stature possessed. In 1983, Nicholson achieved another career peak with Terms of Endearment, playing Garrett Breedlove, an aging former astronaut whose charm masks deep loneliness. The role showcased Nicholson's softer, more romantic side while retaining his trademark irreverence and wit. His performance earned him the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, marking his third Oscar win overall, and reinforcing his reputation as an actor who could excel in both dramatic and comedic roles. The film's massive commercial success also proved that Nicholson was not just a critical favorite, but a reliable box office draw across genres. Throughout the 1980s, Nicholson became synonymous with authority-defying, larger-than-life characters who blurred moral boundaries. He embraced roles that allowed him to dominate scenes with sheer presence, often becoming the film's emotional or psychological center. His performances carried an air of unpredictability. Audiences never knew whether he would seduce, intimidate, or explode, sometimes within the same scene. This unpredictability became his greatest weapon, setting him apart from the more polished leading men of the era. The decade closed with one of Nicholson's most commercially successful and culturally influential performances, the Joker in Tim Burton's Batman, 1989. Rejecting the campy portrayals of the past, Nicholson transformed the character into a grotesque yet charismatic criminal mastermind, blending dark comedy with genuine menace. His Joker was theatrical, sadistic, and hypnotic, turning the villain into the film's true star. The role redefined comic book antagonists and set a new standard for villain performances in blockbuster cinema. Nicholson's deal for the film, granting him a percentage of the box office and merchandise, became legendary, earning him tens of millions of dollars and demonstrating his sharp business instincts alongside his artistic brilliance. By the end of the 1980s, Jack Nicholson had evolved into something far greater than a movie star. He was a cultural force, an actor whose name alone signaled danger, intelligence, and intensity. He had mastered the art of commanding attention without overexposure, choosing roles selectively and allowing his mystique to grow. Nicholson no longer needed to prove himself. He had become the benchmark against which other actors were measured. His performances during this era solidified his image as Hollywood's ultimate dark icon, fearless, provocative, and endlessly compelling. The 1990s marked another monumental chapter in Jack Nicholson's career, as he transitioned from the unpredictable anti-hero and dark icon of previous decades into a versatile, commanding figure whose talent spanned comedy, drama, and romance. This decade proved that Nicholson's presence was as magnetic as ever, and his ability to dominate a film, whether as a protagonist or supporting character, was unmatched. Nicholson began the decade with Awakenings, 1990, directed by Penny Marshall, where he starred alongside Robert De Niro. Playing Leonard Lowe, a patient who awakens from decades of catatonia due to an experimental drug, Nicholson delivered a deeply human and restrained performance. Critics praised his ability to convey both the wonder and tragedy of a man discovering life anew, and the film solidified his reputation as a mature actor capable of subtlety and profound emotional resonance. In the same period, Nicholson further explored morally complex characters. His portrayal of Colonel Nathan R. Jessup in Rob Reiner's A Few Good Men, 1992, is now legendary. The character, a strict, arrogant, and manipulative military officer, embodied Nicholson's mastery of intensity and charisma. His courtroom showdown with Tom Cruise, especially the iconic line, "You can't handle the truth," remains one of the most memorable moments in film history. Nicholson earned another Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, reinforcing his ability to dominate even alongside strong ensemble casts. The role showcased his uncanny skill at balancing authority and menace while delivering dialogue with razor-sharp precision. Nicholson also displayed his lighter romantic side during the decade, particularly in As Good as It Gets, 1997. Playing Melvin Udall, an obsessive-compulsive novelist with a prickly exterior and hidden vulnerability, Nicholson combined his signature intensity with warmth and comic timing. The film was both a critical and commercial success, earning him his third Academy Award for Best Actor. His ability to make audiences empathize with a deeply flawed character highlighted the full range of his acting prowess. He could terrify, seduce, charm, and move viewers, often in the same scene. Other key roles in the 1990s included his turn in Mars Attacks, 1996, a Tim Burton sci-fi comedy where Nicholson played dual roles, an over-the-top president and his mischievous alter ego, demonstrating his willingness to embrace eccentricity for comic effect. He also starred in The Pledge, 2001, directed by Sean Penn, a brooding, intense character study that exemplified Nicholson's enduring commitment to layered, psychologically rich performances. During this decade, Nicholson became more than just an actor. He became a Hollywood elder statesman, a figure whose name alone carried weight and credibility. Directors sought him not only for his acting talent, but for his ability to elevate a project with his mere presence. His choices during the 1990s reflected a careful balance between commercial appeal and artistic challenge, allowing him to remain relevant while continuing to surprise audiences with his range and unpredictability. By the end of the 1990s, Nicholson had firmly established himself as one of the most versatile and respected actors in film history. He had moved seamlessly between horror, drama, comedy, romance, and blockbuster entertainment, earning both critical acclaim and popular adoration. His awards and nominations, spanning decades, were a testament to his longevity, talent, and extraordinary dedication to the craft of acting. Nicholson's 1990s body of work demonstrated that he could reinvent himself while remaining true to the intensity and magnetic charm that had made him a legend decades earlier. As the 21st century unfolded, Jack Nicholson continued to captivate audiences with a series of roles that reinforced his status as a Hollywood legend, proving that age had not diminished his screen magnetism or ability to command attention. Nicholson entered the 2000s with a mixture of dramatic, comedic, and psychologically complex performances, solidifying his place not only as a master actor but also as a cultural icon whose influence spanned generations. In 2002, Nicholson starred in About Schmidt, directed by Alexander Payne, portraying Warren Schmidt, a recently retired insurance executive grappling with existential despair and loneliness. The role demanded a subtle blend of humor, melancholy, and quiet introspection, and Nicholson delivered a tour de force performance that resonated deeply with audiences and critics alike. His nuanced portrayal earned him another Academy Award nomination, demonstrating that even in his mid-60s, Nicholson could carry a film with a depth and humanity few could match. Nicholson continued to explore darker, more intense characters during the decade. In Anger Management, 2003, he ventured into comedy as Dr. Buddy Rydell, a volatile therapist, pairing his legendary intensity with humor. Nicholson's fearless energy and unpredictability allowed him to shine in genres beyond earlier dramatic dominance, showing that he could still command laughter while delivering layers of complexity. He also starred in Something's Gotta Give, 2003, alongside Diane Keaton, proving that even romantic comedies could be elevated by his charisma, wit, and subtle emotional intelligence, earning praise for his ability to balance charm with vulnerability. During the mid-2000s, Nicholson embraced supporting roles in high-profile films. In Martin Scorsese's The Departed, 2006, he portrayed the ruthless crime boss Frank Costello, delivering one of his most chilling and magnetic villainous performances in decades. His presence dominated the screen, reminding audiences why Nicholson had long been associated with intensity and unpredictability. Even in smaller roles, he could create unforgettable characters that lingered in public memory. Nicholson also demonstrated a willingness to take risks and explore unconventional projects. In The Bucket List, 2007, he played a terminally ill man who embarks on a journey of self-discovery and adventure with Morgan Freeman. The film allowed Nicholson to blend humor, introspection, and emotional resonance, creating a performance that was both uplifting and poignant. This period of his career illustrated a mature actor reflecting on life, mortality, and legacy, themes that naturally aligned with Nicholson's evolving public persona. As Nicholson moved into the 2010s, his appearances became rarer, but each role was met with significant anticipation. His last starring role in How Do You Know, 2010, alongside Reese Witherspoon, underscored his enduring versatility and ability to elevate ensemble casts. Though semi-retired afterward, Nicholson's influence on Hollywood and acting remained profound. He became a figure synonymous with excellence, unpredictability, and the kind of charisma that transcends genre, age, and time. Beyond his on-screen work, Nicholson's legacy encompasses his cultural impact and contributions to cinema. He is recognized for popularizing anti-hero roles, portraying flawed but compelling characters who challenge societal norms. Directors, actors, and audiences alike have cited Nicholson as a source of inspiration, noting his fearless approach, improvisational energy, and dedication to craft. His 12 Academy Award nominations, the most for any male actor in history, along with his 3 wins, multiple Golden Globes, and other accolades, cement his position as one of the greatest actors of all time. Nicholson's career is also marked by his ability to oscillate between commercial blockbusters and artistic avant-garde projects, maintaining both popularity and critical acclaim simultaneously. By the end of the 2010s, Nicholson had transitioned into a revered elder statesman of Hollywood, a living legend whose persona off-screen, marked by charisma, wit, and private mystique, became almost as iconic as his on-screen performances. While his appearances became increasingly selective, his influence continued to inspire a new generation of actors, filmmakers, and fans who study his performances for their emotional intensity, timing, and sheer audacity. Jack Nicholson's career, spanning over 6 decades, remains a masterclass in versatility, endurance, and the enduring power of screen presence. Jack Nicholson's extraordinary career is matched by his remarkable collection of accolades, a testament to his talent, versatility, and enduring impact on cinema. Over more than 5 decades, Nicholson has won 3 Academy Awards: Best Actor for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975, and As Good as It Gets, 1997, and Best Supporting Actor for Terms of Endearment, 1983. Beyond the Oscars, he has received 12 Academy Award nominations, more than any other male actor in history, placing him in an elite group of performers whose work has consistently commanded critical recognition. His Golden Globe Awards, spanning both drama and comedy, underscore his rare ability to excel across genres, while his Grammy win reflects his versatility beyond acting. Honors such as the AFI Life Achievement Award 1994, the Cecil B. DeMille Award 1999, and the Kennedy Center Honor 2001 cement his status as one of America's cultural treasures. Nicholson's cultural impact extends far beyond awards. He became synonymous with the archetype of the anti-hero, charismatic, rebellious, and morally complex, shaping generations of filmmakers and actors. Characters like Randall McMurphy, Jack Torrance, and Frank Costello redefined what it meant to be a leading man, blending charm with danger, humor with menace. Directors like Martin Scorsese, Roman Polanski, and Milos Forman often cited Nicholson's improvisational skill, magnetic presence, and fearless commitment to character as pivotal in bringing their visions to life. His influence stretches into popular culture, from his signature eyebrow raise to his enigmatic smile, all of which have become instantly recognizable icons, referenced and parodied in countless media forms. Off-screen, Nicholson's personal life has been the subject of fascination and intrigue. Known for his relationships with high-profile figures and an unconventional lifestyle, he has long been a symbol of Hollywood charisma and mystique. Despite this, Nicholson maintained a remarkable dedication to his craft, often choosing roles that challenged him artistically rather than simply guaranteed box office success. His private persona, witty, enigmatic, and occasionally mischievous, has reinforced the larger-than-life image cultivated through his characters, blurring the line between the man and the legend. In addition to acting, Nicholson has made significant contributions as a writer and director, notably with Drive, He Said, 1971, Going South, 1978, and The Two Jakes, 1990, demonstrating his multifaceted talent and understanding of cinematic storytelling. His willingness to experiment, whether in independent films, avant-garde projects, or blockbuster productions, reflects a lifelong commitment to exploring the full spectrum of human experience through art. Nicholson's legacy also includes mentorship and inspiration for younger actors. His approach, melding rigorous preparation with spontaneous creativity, has influenced countless performers seeking to combine technical skill with raw emotional authenticity. Many credit him with proving that a Hollywood career can encompass both commercial success and artistic excellence. That complexity, unpredictability, and charisma can coexist in a single performer, and that an actor's presence can define a film as much as its script or direction. Now in semi-retirement, Nicholson remains a revered figure, an enduring symbol of Hollywood's golden age and the evolution of modern cinema. While his appearances have become rare, his work continues to resonate, studied by actors, filmmakers, and cinephiles worldwide. Jack Nicholson's career is not merely a collection of memorable roles, it is a testament to the transformative power of performance, the art of reinvention, and the lasting impact of a performer who redefined the possibilities of film acting.